Hi! Today we're gonna go through some places on campus and recall some of my memories, some of the places I've been, taking classes at, had some cries maybe, but yeah, I think that this is gonna serve more as just like a record for myself. It's often through videos and photos that I feel a lot of nostalgia. When I go back to certain places, I'm just so caught up in the moment and too like present to really digest, the fact that I'm gonna miss this place, or the fact that I have been in this place before and was a different person. And so this is kind of gonna serve as more of like a record for myself. When I leave Wellesley, how I lived here and the different memories I've had here. I thought we'd start here in my room. Michelle, if you're seeing this later, I know you miss this room. How beautiful. It's like the perfect size. All my friends live nearby me. When I first moved into this room with my friends, we all were in awe. We were so excited to move in and decorate it in different ways. Now when I go into my other friends' rooms, it looks familiar because it's the same layout as mine, but it's decorated and it also smells completely different. It smells like them. It looks like, their personality just like plastered all around the walls. And so I hope, this is kind of a reflection of me too, I guess. As I go through the campus today, I think I will mostly remember the different classes that I've taken. I think that contrasting a more verbal introduction of the campus to actual videos of moments in my life will give you a better understanding of what Wellesley has been. So here we go. Thank you for watching. We're going to start with my room. A lot of stuff on my wall here. I'm gonna cut some of it out. We're in Bates. This is my first year dorm and also my final year dorm. And it's kind of weird we're going full circle, but we're gonna visit the place that was my first dorm right now. It was this one, 212. I kind of feel weird filming it, but whatever. Right now we're in front of the gym, kind of running room, where I used to run a lot in first year and second year and fourth year, but slowly I ran less, and yeah, a lot of sweat was spilled here. Now from the dining hall, we're heading to the other dorm connected, McAfee, where I spent half of my sophomore year before I did my gap semester. One of the main bits is the fact that you have to go through this door and go through this long hall of kind of illustrations, just like graffiti. I always wanted to add something here, but alas. I ended coming to the fourth floor where I used to live anyways. It looks very similar to Bates. Yeah, it was just okay here. I feel like in McAfee, it was really weird because all the rooms were flipped from when I was in Bates. My sophomore year was so busy. I remember I just had 5 classes. I was going to MIT once a week, and it was just like a really busy time. I think a lot of sophomores pack their schedules because after first year, you're like, oh, I got the hang of this. Like, I could totally do this. I know what's up. And then once you actually pack your schedule and realize you have so much to do, not with just e-boards and classes and just like looking for jobs and stuff, it's kind of hell. But it was really fun. We had my friend Ashley's birthday party in here once. The iconic Bates McAfee circle. So this circle is very iconic because the 3 dorms circle all around here. And also it's home to our Bates statue. Used to go down these stairs every single day for like a couple years. Path to Psy. Yeah, this path I've walked a lot. I've also almost tripped here many times because of cracks such as that. So beautiful on the side here when the sun shines through and you could see the bell tower. It's a whole thing. I used to not even know that this back door existed until like maybe sophomore year. I don't know why. Welcome to the Science Center. Definitely printer that never worked. I had the same reaction. Okay, we're in the Science Center. I've literally lived here all of junior year, a lot of first semester of senior year. Weirdly, I've not spent a lot of time here this past semester because I just don't have any classes in Sci. But this class is where I took one of my favorite classes, Tech Ethics. I used to have my Wellesley and product meetings here for my senior year, and so I would just be on this floor just like constantly. But it feels like a distant memory. But yeah, that's a classroom. Once I pulled an all-nighter here. Everybody's studying for finals right now. Leaky beaker. This is where we get our Uber Eats. Back when I was a freshman, this was the only part of the Science Center that was done. And I had one of my first CS classes here, which made me decide I wanted to be an MAS major. And so these were some of the first classrooms that I've ever been in my first year. Another fun thing that I did was take geosciences my junior year when all my friends were gone and studying abroad because I had to take my lab requirement. And so we're gonna go over there. Now we're gonna go to my geosciences lab. Oh my gosh, I remember when we did a lab for that. Do I remember what it was? No, I don't, sorry. Now this is the way down towards the academic quad. This is one of my favorite paths to cross because you see so many people pass here in between classes and just go to Lulu. Okay, we have escaped the rain and we're in Pendleton West where I took a lot of my studio classes. Right now I'm in the 3D design classroom where I thought I was going to be an architecture major for a little bit my sophomore year, and I was like, I need to get this requirement done just in case I want to be a spatial designer, which I ended up not being. But you know, it was a good opportunity for me to just get like some hands-on, you know, art experience, and so I really love this classroom because I have so many memories here, kind of just pulling close to all-nighters, but not really. Regardless of me not becoming an architecture major, it did make me realize I did want to take more art classes at Wellesley, which later translated into my media arts and sciences major. So anyways, I took the class and it did count for one of my majors. So in that way, it turned out pretty good. So thankful for that. Now we're going upstairs. So upstairs, I don't have as much class experience, but I just studied a lot here a couple years ago. So I would go to Colin's Cafe and I would get a sandwich and I just bring it here in between meetings. This is where I did my first interview for the first AI startup that I worked for. Now this, my friends, is a very special staircase because it leads to one of the places where it was my favorite working place for like a good year. Once I watched a whole episode of Wedding Palace here. Here's the bridge to the other arts building, Jewett. I think when I first came into Wellesley, I wanted to do more film-esque things because that's definitely where my passion lied. And taking this, that, and the other thing, I realized there were some other things that I was good at but wasn't able to explore. I feel like if I really leaned into the whole film and arts major, I definitely would have spent more time here. This is the bridge to Jewitt's Art Center. I did have a good number of classes there though because of media arts and sciences, but I would say in comparison to the other halls that I've taken classes at, not so much. But I did spend a lot of time here just because I loved the wood around and I feel like it helped me study. So I don't know, this is one of the buildings I'm gonna miss the most. It's also one of the buildings that people think are the prettiest because it's a little bit more modern, but let's go. So beautiful. Another good thing is, I don't know if it's a good thing. One thing is that my friend was walking here during reunion and then she was on these stairs and then right here she made eye contact with Hillary Clinton. So I think that's like a fun thing I always think about when I'm over here. This is my friend Kimmy's work, so beautiful. A lot of times I do some of my work in the art library as well. This is like my one legacy at Wellesley. I had a couple classes in here too, specifically with Professor David Wilson, the GOAT. And I remember when, before I had classes here, I came in here for the first time and I was like, wow, this is definitely a space I want to work in. Because at that point I was so interested in like arts and technology and the intersection of it, which I still am, but it was more so new to me at the end of freshman year. And so I was privileged enough to take like maybe like 2 or 3 classes in here. I made so much amazing art that I love. And yeah, I'm gonna miss it. And they're gonna tear this place down at some point too. So I think it's good to kind of record it. This is one of my favorite views of all of campus. Here, I'll zoom out. Oh, beautiful. Literally quintessential Wellesley. And it's so beautiful when the sky is like all orange and everything, but you know, this is good enough. It's so gorgeous. You can't even deny. And so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Green Hall, which is right across here. Cats. Here's another amazing view. Here you can see, that's the library. So oftentimes I would go down there. This green door is super iconic. A lot of people like to take their pictures here for graduation. Yeah, and this whole thing is basically just Green Hall and Founders. What I will say is that Green Hall is a little bit harder to navigate because the floors are so confusing, but it is one of the most beautiful buildings on campus. Or just like the academic quad in general is so pretty. It kind of smells funky down here sometimes because it's an old building, but I don't know, what can you do? I never use these vending machines, never. I don't know, I just don't really trust them. My favorite vending machines on campus are inside. Whoa, it's so dark. Okay, that's another thing. I feel like, oh, okay, motion sensor. If you're stuck in like the academic quad or like, I don't know, in one of these older buildings at night, it's a little scary because it's like very Harry Potter-esque, kind of dark. Out this door is a really pretty courtyard too that I take a lot of grad pics for people. But yeah, right now we're headed to the book arts lab. Because the library right now is closed, so let's move everything over here. Here, we'll take a peek. Whoa. I think that if I became an English major, I probably would have spent a lot of time here because this is the English major hall. I came here once in a crisis, like sophomore year, I think, because I was like, oh my gosh, do I need to go back to my original plan of like being an English major? Literally the person that I was like talking to about this just passed by. Anyways, yeah, so that would have been me in another life. Another thing is, I feel like I spent a lot of time here my first year because my classes were just down the hall, but it's definitely not like my favorite place to study. My first feeling that comes to mind when I pass through these halls is not like very pleasant. I think I had a lot of tumultuous times here. I think that's because my first year I was just like, ugh. I was trying to get my life together. But yeah, overall pretty good. I will say though, the bathrooms here are very hot. It's so hot. The heaters take forever to, they're either really cold or really hot. So I think in the winter when it starts to get cold, the heaters take a while to turn on, but then once they're on and it comes into summer, it's just like really hot in there for no reason. And it's just kind of gross, but you know. This is a good door too. We're back in the quad. I do like that all the academic buildings are kind of near each other. I feel like this area changes the most during the seasons, and it's just like the most gorgeous thing ever. I think it also is really nice at the end of the year when there aren't that many people and it's just like a warm breeze and only a couple people, you know, in chairs. I remember there's this one really specific moment in my freshman year when I could wear shorts and a crop top for the first time, and it was glorious. I was just walking here, I was submitting my last paper that wasn't even gonna be graded. It was like pass fail or something, I don't even know. And it was the best feeling. Oh my gosh. I checked my schedule for this the other day. I apparently took 11 classes in this all. 11. It's a lot. I took some fat naps here, like on that sofa. Especially in the winter when I had like my long puffer on, I would just lie down here after class. This is the poster that Sumin and I did. I took a bunch of classes here. I took my Intro to Linguistics class and my Intro to American Studies there with some amazing professors. This is where I used to print last minute, and then they don't have a stapler sometimes, so I would have to submit it without a stapler or borrow a stapler somewhere else. Yeah, very stressful actually. My last class that I ever had was in this classroom, and it was really sad. But it's also with one of my favorite professors, Professor Bedford. It was a sociology class. What an amazing note to end on. So now we're gonna go to Lulu. There are a couple routes we could have gone. We could have gone through the Davis Museum and the Collins Cafe, which is where they make those amazing sandwiches I always got. But we're gonna go through the Pendleton Westway, which I kind of went a little bit more after class. So. The Lulu Walk is a favorite of many because a lot of people eat food here. Up there. Everybody puts their spam here. Often so I would go in the back and try to put something up too, but you know, it's actually a two-person job. It's really hard to have only one person put it up, you know? But that was my mailbox around over there. Beautiful, beautiful emporium where I got many snacks. You know what I should do? I should actually check my mailbox before I leave. But I'm not gonna do that right now because I have to carry it around. So I'll show you what I would like usually get here. Usually I'd come in here, scan around. Okay, they used to have a lot of kombucha, but they don't anymore for some reason. But sometimes I would get the berry lemonade, yerba mate. I get some Celsius, and then sometimes I would get this smoothie, this milkshake thing. It was really good. And another thing I would often still get is the Milano cookies. I don't know if they're here. Oh, here we go. These ones right here. Yeah, I mean, that's really the vibe of Lulu. We're gonna go upstairs and we're gonna look at the cafeteria. What I will say though is Lulu's the first building that I visited when I was on campus. I came here and I went upstairs and nobody was here. It was like spring break or something. And I wanted to see the merch store. But no one was here and it wasn't open. I'm pretty sure it was like a Sunday, that's why. But yeah. This is it. Okay. We're in Lulu. Lulu was my favorite dining hall for a long time, but I feel like it's changed over a period of time because there's so many people here all the time. But there was like one time when I was just eating and it was a really good meal. It was either like Jamaican rice or like chicken tinga or something like that. And I was just eating and I was like, I feel so thankful just to have like good food and like this sanctuary with like this beautiful view at college. Oh my gosh, I was just like I was like crashing out because of just like work and no sleep. But in general, I feel like Lulu has served as a really good reset for me. My friend and I, we would always after class meet up and then get like a sweet treat here. Always yummy things available here. So I was really thankful for that. Is the food here always great? No, but that goes for everywhere else. I think that this is also a really good in-between study space because of the big tables. But yeah, I mean, I think in Lulu in general, I don't like to study a lot because downstairs the sofas don't have much back support, and then up here I feel like the chairs are a little cold. But I think the vibe in general very nice. Beep beep. So they just painted, oh my gosh, this road, so it's super bright. But basically, back when it was COVID, I used to take my COVID test here. Again, I'm getting shy because there are people around. But I used to take my COVID test here like twice a week. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we did that. Big reason I come to BB a lot is because my friends live here on the 4th floor. Shout out to the Seago seniors. But yeah, have I ever lived in the Quint? No. I'm like an East Sider through and through. I don't know, I just like that it has the dining halls in the building and it's a little quieter and stuff like that. But I don't know, that's just me. I get a lot of hate for that from sometimes, but I'm loyal. What can I say? Here we have the quad, Quint, whatever you want to call it, BB. It's always so pretty. And the quad, Quint, I don't even know what they call it. I think it's Quint. It's Quint because we're about to go to Munger. And that's like technically the fifth one. I guess the 5th west side dorm-ish. But anyways, yeah. I know a lot of people really love it here. I always had my birthday parties here, did game nights here, had some drinks here. You know, it's a fun time. It's a little far, especially in the winter. It's so far from my home in the winter. So I need to trek over. So I think also that's probably what made me a little bit more of an introvert in college. I just couldn't go out. Now we're on our way to Munger, which is over there. Now Munger is special because yes, I had a birthday party. Well, I think my friends had birthday parties there once, and then two of my best friends lived there their first year. So Munger basement is right through those doors, ladies and gentlemen. How beautiful, Munger. I do think a big part of my college experience has been just going to my friends' places and hanging out. So yeah, that's the main reason why I came to Munger. I also was in Munger when I found out one of my friends had COVID and I had a COVID scare, and that was really scary. But I didn't even have COVID. I never had COVID at Wellesley. Can you believe that? Now we're going back up and we're gonna go to the other side of campus. This is the Miraculous Collins Cafe. We're going up the hill to Tower in Severance and Claflin. I just think it's so funny that I'm basically making a video of all the places that I kind of have memories at on Wellesley campus. And like literally when I first got to campus, I thought it was so big and I wouldn't get to know any part of campus at all. And now it's become home, which feels a little weird. I feel like it's only felt more so like home in the past year. So, I don't know. I used to pick up a lot of people here at this roundabout to go to church. Let's be honest, I know nothing about this place. I've only been here a couple times with my friends, but let's look around. Welcome to Tower Court. Very Wellesley marketing-esque building. I've never lived here before, but the view is stunning. Honestly, it is the best day for lighting today. If I was doing more senior shoots today, I would be so excited because the lighting is just so amazing. It's also a great day to walk by the lake. The first time I sprained my ankle on campus, it was when I was like attempting to run by the lake my first year, and I just totally fell. I was like, I tripped over a root or something crazy like that. But anyways, this is another path that I really like. And then after I sprained my ankle that one time, I just like continuously sprained my ankle for like the next 2 years. I haven't sprained it in a long time since then. There was like a crazy moment when I like sprained it and like the ambulance had to come and it was just like this whole thing. But yeah. Oh, we're by the lake. I don't know. I'm passing by Sev Green right now. I used to kind of sit there and contemplate my life sometimes in the sun. There's one specific voice recording that I have from there, where I was just like talking about my goals in life. But yeah, it's that big green over there. Another place we're gonna pass by is the library that's under construction. A lot of good times there. I think it was my favorite place to you know, kind of pull all-nighters or like longer nights because the back support on the chairs there was so nice. If you don't know, I really value back support. So here it is, it's under construction. But yeah, oh my gosh, people are behind me. Now we're going to the chapel. I had a couple memories there. I met my best friends there during a service once, and yeah. That green door is really important to me because I took an amazing photo there once, and that's also often so where I film the seniors when they're doing their grad photos. I think like this corner of campus is just when I had like random stuff I had to do. I had some meetings here a lot, like for example Billings, this building over here. I often had like some PAC meetings there, which is like Pan Asian Council. I used to do ZLY for a year, so in the basement I would host a radio show. Another place that I wanted to show you real quick is Acorns, which is the cultural house for students of Asian and Latinx descent. And I have a little acorn pin that's going to be on my stole because I was president of a cultural org my senior year. And so I'm really looking forward to that happening. And this is another place where I sprained my ankle, actually. I was like running here and the path here is like pretty rough. I literally sprained my ankle here and that was like kind of a big deal actually. That was like one of my first weeks of college. Often so I'm running on this path because I'm like trying to get to a meeting on time. But whenever I came to Acorn specifically, it was mostly for like a cultural org meeting for TICO. And I met a lot of my close friends there. A lot of really amazing underclassmen, upperclassmen that I got to be friends with over the years, and that's like one of the biggest reasons why I'm sad about leaving. So I just met so many amazing people. Another thing that I do here is like I drive my car here pretty often too, because sometimes it was just easier to go from wherever I was doing on a Sunday, for example church in the morning, do something in the middle, and then come straight here for my meeting in the afternoon. Here's Acorn's house. Yeah, so this is Acorns. We had almost every single TICO meeting in here. Lots of laughs. I would say that I definitely put a lot of heart into my extracurriculars, specifically my 2 orgs, my 1 professional org, my 1 cultural org, aside from my academics. And I think it was really important for me to have like separate spaces for those activities and not for everything to mesh together so much, because our campus is actually pretty small. And so for different activities to be segmented in different spaces really helped with just kind of staying on task and, you know, dividing up my energy and my social battery or whatever. It's a luxury to be able to have time to, you know, commit to some orgs and do like extracurricular work in that way. But often it's like the last 20% or like 15% of your energy. And so I would come here at the end of a Sunday and I'd try to bring my best energy forth, but also like oftentimes I'd be so tired because at the end of the weekend you get like your Sunday scaries, you have so much work they have to do. But that would be the case for a lot of people, and so a lot of people would just kind of be like, oh, I gotta do this before the meeting starts. But then everybody would like lock in for at least an hour, which I feel like was super respectful and something I really cherished about my orgs. So yeah, gonna miss this place a lot. Hopefully I can come back when there's a reunion or something. So yeah. This is the tennis courts. Often so they'd have food trucks here, other fun stuff. This time we're gonna go down this road on the left, go to Stone Davis. Oh my goodness, how could we forget the locomotion? Or as I call the lotion. Stone Davis, my junior year dorm. This dorm I spent a lot of time alone in because in the spring semester all my friends were abroad and I basically just was like here all the time, but I haven't been here in so long. So we're gonna go to my old room and just kind of I don't know, see how I feel. But I mean, I don't know, I know this place pretty well. Yeah, that was my room, 428. It was pretty big, but it's really cold because there are 2 windows on like both other sides. But yeah, good experience overall. Loneliness, a little higher. I also went down this hill many times. Because often so in first year, second year, I would always want to come to Stone D for like their veggies. Now we're kind of back to the beginning. The 2 very Wellesley symbols right here in front of me.
about my life and all its funny games. A gambling man, I'm not, I guarantee. Yeah, I still bet on right or wrong. It's day for me and night for some. The sun is out, but we'll never agree. Stand and watch the years go by. The April rain, sunshine, she came this day for our July. When autumn leaves drift by my window pane, the cold will pass into the spring again. As seasons come, so will they go. Too young to die, too old not to know anything. Maybe we sleep in today. But alas, I've changed it to life goes on. Still my thoughts distract me, some things don't change. I'll spend a sunny afternoon waiting for city night lights to shine before I call it a day. Who are they, I wonder, going home? Or the other way, I'll never know. If hope some comfort, I'll raise up and pray. If nothing, may your drinks be cold and strong. Another taste, get it, go. Let's see what's come. So they go. Too young to die.
Yeah,
But too dumb not to know anything. I'm numb for doing things the same as yesterday, expecting change. Do you feel it all?
turn over.
Wishes I was young again. When did we stop playing pretend?
We're at the art department dinner. We have Thai.
Call me mama, oh so simple and plain. We live in a big
It's kind of working. 50% feels unreal. Everyone. Gun store. There's paper here. The market's over. A table for single-handedly saving my lab. Kind of crazy the amount of people here.